Hey Garth Gang, welcome back to another Death's Oath update. This will be the last update I'll be doing on this character. I've kind of got to the end of where I want to play it, so this is the last update on why I'm on this character, and I've been tinkering with the end game path of building to what I would consider where I'd like it to be, with approximately 10 to 15 exalted spent on it. You could go a lot further. This build is one of those where if you had it, you could easily sink 100x into the build by getting double influenced, elevated mods on the rare gear, corrupted unique items, etc, etc. Those of you that earn that kind of currency during illegal know what I'm talking about, will have the crafting knowledge or the currency to buy them. But aside from that, this is where we're at. So excuse me, I managed to find and unlock the coral hideout, so I've redone my hideout. This one has got no decorations at all, but that's a side point. Let's look at this character. So we've changed some gear, and I've got some stack decks to open. I'll do those in this video. We've managed to get a trinket slot opened up, which isn't a very good trinket. It was just the one I found in the Grand Heist. The bow hasn't changed, and it will probably won't change now. This, like I said, this build is kind of done. I still don't have the Enlighten in there. So we've got our helm, that hasn't changed. I've managed to get enough catalysts to upgrade the attribute modifiers on the Impresence, and I've managed to get my summoning towers anointment, that's what I was looking for, anoint done on this ring, and I've managed to get my anointment done on that ring, as well as started to catalyst the ring there. The armor hasn't changed, that's the same. The boots haven't changed, the belt hasn't changed, none of the gear has changed at all. So that's that. I've redone my flasks, so now that's the same. I've enkindle orbed my quicksilver, so that's done. The main reason for using that particular quicksilver is for delve and heists, and running through the maps, just trying to get below 50 mobs killed so I can get as many map returns as I can. Thanks to Bailey Mage for that advice. The sulphur flask is not qualityed or rolled because the prefix is wrong. The prefix should be the gain X charges when hit, and I don't have another sulphur flask at the right eye level to roll that, so that's that done. The jade flask is done. I'd prefer the the flaglants prefix, but that's a 7 charges, 1 charge difference. It's not massive. And the granite flask has got the sinners rather than masochists or flaglants for the same reason. It's not that big a deal. And I've got the deer on there, which means the actual length of time the flask runs is relatively low. I have managed to finally get determination active, but that means I can't run the Defiance banner and still have enough mana for my caustic arrow. This is because I need to sort out the rings, which means I need to change the gear again. I don't have enough currency slash interest to do that. This ring should be a suffix elemental resists, and then you craft minus non-channeling mana to the item, rather than having life and then a crafted Ellie resist. But if I take that Ellie resist off, I've then got to roll it using currency, and I don't have that many alts left. As you can see, my currency tab is looking a lot more healthy. I've managed to sell a lot more stuff. I'm now into red maps, so my tabs have changed for cost, and I've started setting up ready for all the transferring into standard non-league after this league has finished. So that's where we're at. I could spend the Exalt and the Chaos on upgrading the gear. I don't want to on this build. That's it. I'll grind some currency on another build that I'm going to play. Even with the Determination and the Defiance banner, we have hit a block on tier 14, tier 15 maps with the Cyrus controlled rare mobs. And anything over 50 stacks in Scourgeland at tier 15 one shots this build as this character, sorry, not the build, the character. The character doesn't have enough defenses / DPS. One thing I have been forgetting in the previous videos is to show you the DPS of Death's aura. Mine is currently set at 399.87. That's 40k. It's not a lot, which is why I'm not killing stuff as quickly. That is because of the investment. These, where possible, should all be awakened. So that should be Awakened Void Manip, Awakened Swift, Awakened Inkoe, and that's that. And they should all be qualitied. As you can see, mine are getting there, but you know, I need to. And same here. That should be Divergent at Caustic Arrow, 2020 minimum. Awaken, 2020 least. Empower sits in the 6th slot, level 3, 4 depending on your currency. Despair should be 2020. Enhance should be level 3, which would then with the helm make it level 5. Temp change should be 2020, and then the blasphemy should be awakened 520. So I'm missing a whole ton of DPS in my standard build. Excuse me, Death's aura is up to 600k, and I can clear tier 16 maps. Everything dies without a problem with a combination of Death's aura and then the 6-linked bow. So that's the build. The path of building, if I just bring that up on now for you, it will be linked in the description below. Whoops, hold on, I've pressed the wrong buttons. Where has path of building? There we go. Right, there we are, that's better. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we've done now is upgraded the skills here. So as you can see, Divergent, Caustic Arrow, Awake, Empower, level 3. I've taken level 3 because level 4 is really expensive and still don't have the currency for that. Helm, Temp Change, Enhance, again level 3, Awaken, Blasphemy, Despair. Auras, Divergent, Malevolence, Anomalous, Vitality, Divergent, Determination, and Enlighten level 3. Awakened, Efficacy, Life Tap, and Less Duration, all 2020s. Awakened at level 6s. And then we have the boots. Remember that the only links is Wither and Spell Totem. Do not link your Defiance banner or your Flame Dash. So it's a 1-1-2 with Anomalous, Spell Totem, and Defiance banner. Item wise, Pantheon, Soul of the Brine King, fully upgraded so you can't be frozen, which then frees up a flask slot, and Tukuhama for the additional fizz damage reduction and regen when stationary, which sometimes you get hit if you don't get the phasing from your Abyss Jewel in your belt. Onto the tree. This is the level 96 tree. So as you can see, that's how the tree is, with the Transcendent Mind and the Glorious Vanity Zibakwa, with the Chaos Damage Gem, Chaos Damage over time, Watcher's Eye, and it's pretty much the same down here. Chaos Damage of time, and lastly again chaos damage over time. As I said, this POB will be linked in the description below. The items we're after a Hunter's Influence bow. I've chosen for Marraketh for the extra movement. +1 socketed gems, 85% chaos damage over time with the Hunter mod damage over time. Then multi-mod for +2 to socketed gems, support gems, and then the chaos damage over time multiplier. Excuse me. As for the quiver, the damage over time with attack skills is purely for your caustic arrow, nothing else. It's not a must, that's a quality of life. Same as the pierce. Technically you could put any quiver in there. The main things you want is the highest life possible, the +2 max chaos resist, which is the hunter mod, and then the craft of the regen life. All the regen life is great. In Delve on this character, where is Nico? Hold on. No, you can't see this on the video. View subdivision chart, there it is. This character I've taken down to depth 103, which is switching PoE. Bing! There we go. To 103. And I was in the darkness, managed to get the stacks up to 45 darkness stacks, and my life regen wasn't moving on this iteration of this character. So the more life regen you get, the more you can stand in Darkness of Delve if you want to go into Delve with this character. It can do it, so that's that. Right, so the Ridley's Veil, we're after the max roll for Ellie resists and the max roll to socketed gems. The enchant is either Malevolence or Determination, Mana Reservation. Death Oath Astral Plate, ideally we want the max roll of +50 all stats, all attributes on there, and then the implicit 12 Ellie res to be maxed with that harvest craft on there. The gloves we want as Hunter Apothecary gloves, damage over time, and then the increased damage during any blast effect modifier on there. Obviously maxing out the life and missing whatever resists that this particular version is cold and lightning. With the boots I've gone for the two-tone fire lightning with a redeemer for the onslaught effect. Now these, because most of the time we're walking everywhere, we do want a minimum of 30% movement speed, and again life and whichever resist you're missing. The only reason I'm using the armor energy shield ones is because I was missing fire and lightning resists, but again it depends where you're getting your resists from and where you need them most. In Presence Amulet, again we're looking for the max implicit roll of attributes. After that it's just trying to get the best you can for your budget with the attribute augment on there. There's the ring which I was talking about, life and mana, catalysts, with a vermilion ring with the all resistances on there, and then crafted non-channeling skills, and then the other one which is vermilion ring which is life, and then crafted strength dex. The Stygian Vice is Elder or Hunter. Mine happened to be an Elder for the increased max life, more life, and again whichever resists you're missing, plus a crafted regen life. With the Hypnotic Jewel with strength and dex, preferably max, as much life as you can get, as much damage over time, while that shouldn't be say dual wielding, that should be wielding a two-handed weapon. I've chosen the wrong one, I will correct it before linking the POB below. With phasing, and a highest roll as your budget will allow. Ideally this is how I've set up my flask, feel free to do your own. So Flaglance Eternal Life Flask of Assuaging. In Standard I've got a use when take a established hit. I've tried crafting it in League, but for whatever reason it doesn't work, whether that is a bug that you can't craft now, or it was a bug that you could craft it then, I don't know. Experimenter's Quicksilver Tutor for more movement speed. Flagrant Sulphur of the Penguin, but once you get the fully upgraded Brine King you can't be frozen anyway, so you might want to keep this on there just for the chill effect, I don't know, personal choice. Jade Flask of the Starfish, which is the Ignite. This build is very susceptible to Ignite. It does a ton of damage, so that is a must, getting immunity to and remove. And then finally on the Granite Flask, I've gone for a reduced shock effect, because most of the time you get shocked. This flask procs and it just removes it. So, and here's all your gems labelled. So the medium cluster, decay and unwavering evil, with whatever you need on the other 1/2 slots, as long as it's a 4 passive with damage over time. The Watcher's Eye is again, what regenerate percentage of life per second by vitality. On the Scourge League version, I've got unaffected by poison. On the standard, I managed to pick up a damage over time 1. Hidden potential with corrupted blood, because this was in 3.15 when you couldn't get corrupted blood immunity on the tree. Up to you, they're relatively cheap usually. Large cluster jewel, triple passive with the 8. Again, that is the cobalt gem that sits in there. Another damage over time, triple. Life and decay, flow of life, student decay, glorious vanity, transwind, and then the final clusteral. As I said, this is a level 96 build if you get that high. This is my version of it. I'm sure there's other people that have done versions. This is based off of Balaam Ages 3.5 version. Oh, and on on my Scourge version, I finally Uber ascended today, so I finally got the pops. So I went to get Void Beacon first of all, so I was leveling, and then I went up to Withering Presence, because by that point you have hit, or I have hit Cruel Lab at Act 5, so just made sense to get that chaos resist in as quickly as possible, plus more chaos damage. So yeah, that's the end of this build for now. I won't be doing any more videos on this particular build. Back into PoE. Let's go down here and open up these stack decks. Here we go. See if we get anything interesting. That's CAC. Wow, there are 40 here. Axe. Bad. That could be good, depends what it comes up with. Bad. Oh, and patient. Nice. I prefer doing it this way. I know a lot of people throw them on the ground, but I'm always concerned that I get a DC and then I lose them. So I just right click, left click, and put them down again. Ooh, orbs, nice. See if we can get another one. I doubt it. Girls orb. Girls orb's always good. Another one. That's a GCP. Corrupted Whisper of Ice could be fun. So far, nothing interesting other than the patient. Ooh, now that could be interesting if it rolls around the Transcendence. And the last one is crap. So we've got one good card. One good card out of 40 stack decks. Oh well, let's throw them in there. There we go, I'll hand them in later. There's nothing there that's going to be interesting apart from that one. That could give us either GCPs or glass blowers. Both of those would be really good. Anything else is a ton of cack. Let's have a look, and we get black stones. Yep, that's about right for me. Moving on to the next build now, I will be running a Juggernaut accuracy stacker. I've been working on a POB based on what's running on PoE Ninja. So stay tuned and I'll throw some videos for that one. Garth out.